Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. Self-awareness is prerequisite to growth, professional and personal. Previous installments in this series offered specific activities to help increase your self-awareness. I called one the Museum of You, the other is what have been your life's best and worst decisions, and the third one is a half-hour autobiography. This installment takes a different approach. It invites you to self-assess in each of 5 areas. The first is distractions. Everyone knows it helps to stay focused, yet all of us get distracted at times, and some of that is fine. For example, let's say that in the middle of working you get an idea for something to buy or to post on social media. As long as you're able to get back to work after that quick diversion, it's no problem. The problem occurs when distraction tends to send you off on a tangent from which you too often can't retrieve yourself. A few examples. A worrisome thought. Once you start thinking about, for example, your grandparents' illness, you start pondering about detail after detail, maybe catastrophizing, and before you know it, a half hour has passed, or longer. Another example, you just love that video game, and while you tell yourself that you're only going to play it during a few-minute break, that few minutes does also too often turn to 30. One more example. You're working on something important, but another, more pleasant but less important work task pops to mind. You promise yourself to spend just a few minutes on that before getting back to job 1. But again, a few minutes turn into much longer. So, here you want to stop the video and list any distractions that you want to gird yourself against. Another source of self-understanding, self-awareness that may help you toward personal growth is what I call your triggers. We all have triggers, hot buttons. Maybe your boss reminds you of your bad parent, or you see that blonde and it reminds you of that vicious person you used to date. Or someone questions your intelligence, which is your sore spot. Of course, some triggers are mild enough to not worry about, but here, again, stop the video and list any triggers that risk your overreacting. A third example of some self-awareness that may help you in your personal growth is to be aware of what you trigger in other people. If you're being honest with yourself, do you have a characteristic that too often turns people off? A few examples: being a know-it-all, saccharine sweet, too aggressive, being a broken record, that is, spouting your view on something again and again. So, is there a personal characteristic within you that tends to trigger other people, and that you would like to commit to changing? A fourth area of self-understanding, self-awareness that can help you toward personal growth is your habits. Most of our habits are good ones, honed from years of living and that make life easier. But occasionally a habit hurts you. Most obvious is a substance abuse problem, but there are other examples. For instance, lingering too long in the morning before getting started on your day. Routinely buying, say, cheese, even though you know you tend to eat too much of that calorie-dense stuff. Or maybe you're being unduly impatient with your parent or your child or your romantic partner. Is there a habit that you would like to change? And finally, a final area of self-understanding that may help you in your personal growth is blind spots. It's easy to be blind to a personal weakness. After all, it's more pleasant to ignore or try to rationalize it away. A few examples: unhealthy weight. You might rationalize, I'm not that overweight and I deserve the pleasure of eating yummy stuff even if it is calorific. Another example: yeah, I'm passive, but I hate people who are too willful. One more example: poor work ethic. You might rationalize, there are plenty of people who are worse than me. Now that you're thinking about it, are you seeing a blind spot that you would like to address? So, do any of the foregoing unearth or remind you of things about yourself that you want to keep in mind? Are there any that motivate you to try to change something about yourself? In any event, I do thank you for watching. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And in any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.